Howdy, folks. Well, the parade's about to start right here in Oxford, Michigan. Don't miss it, because everybody's getting ready to line up and fall out.
Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again. The Lone Ranger.
So hello everybody, welcome to the 2018 Downtown Oxford Lone Ranger Parade and Festival. Again, we're here, Rod, and it's a beautiful day.
This is a great day. I can't believe how big this parade has gotten so quickly.
I can't either. I'm Terry Stiles from Oxford Community Television,
and
Rod Wright, and we wouldn't miss it. And it doesn't look like anybody else in Oxford is missing it either.
I don't think so.
We're going to have a great day, great parade. And of course, the parade is always led by Oxford's finest, and it should be Chief Mike Sowald. Post 108 Color Guard. They never miss an event in this community. They're still dedicated soldiers. I'd like to thank them. Is Cecil Cameron and his young Marines. These kids are teenagers. They're still in school. They learn discipline. They learn community service. They learn about their community, and they're very respectful kids.
We have a very, very active American Legion in our community.
We also have the auxiliary of Post 334. You know what these horns are all about?
The Thunderbird Club.
Oh, my favorite car of all times. Aren't they beautiful?
It was Ford's answer to Chevrolet's Corvette.
It's an international club. It's got 111 chapters, and they specialize in Thunderbirds from the 1950s all the way through to 2005. I sure would like to be a member of that club.
Yeah, me too. Do you get a car when you join?
Oh, okay. Let's try it. They are just beautiful, beautiful cars.
And we got a little lull in the parade here. They get strung out by the time they get here, don't they?
They sure do, and that gives us time to get people on the street, which is really nice. I wish you could see this crowd. If you're not here today, the crowd is incredible. One year we got to see the entire parade from the bridge, and it's people as far as you can see all the way down to Drainer almost. And you know who this is. This is Sparty, Michigan State University's finest.
He's looking good, too.
And I know we've got a lot of Michigan State fans around here. And for those who aren't, it's really tough to be a Michigan State fan, and we are tough people. And then we have the North Oakland Democratic Club. These fine ladies have marched a long way to get up to Oxford and be in this parade. And it looks like they're campaigning for Mindy Denninger.
What's good about the politicians is that the kids like it because they always bring candy.
So they're campaigning for Mindy Denninger, Rosemary Bayer, and Nicole Breeden. And it looks like also for Michelle Bryant. It's a good way to get to be known. You know, it's really important to meet the people that you're going to represent. So I know that they're very busy, but I appreciate. That's right. I appreciate that they make it out here.
Yes. It's going to get pretty loud, pretty quick here, Terry. You got some music coming.
Third Degree Burns. They're local students, and they're fantastic.
Yep, I had a friend of mine's son was in there, and boy, he works with the kids.
Yeah.
It's a rock and roll band.
He brings the best out in them, that's for sure. Now, don't they have to try out, actually, to be in this
group?
group?
Different levels. From what I remember, it's just a great group, and It's been around for quite a while now.
That's a whole lot of talent.
They got them drum kicks rocking.
And right behind them is Ron Zima in a 1936 Plymouth, which is just gorgeous. And then let's talk about the Wrestling Club of Oxford.
Well, I'll tell you what, arguably
man.
probably the best sports program here in Oxford.
I agree.
These guys, every year,
Look
we
at
are
this.
noted for wrestling.
There's a little guy in there, and that's about the age that they start out. He's wearing all kinds of medals, and that starts out with Doug Meyer. We got the Sunshine Performers here, Flames and Fire. Every year they join us in this parade. I'm so proud because they come from, I believe, Livonia.
He's a very interesting young man.
And he's a brave young man, I'll tell you.
So I can hear you better.
You can hear me better. Okay, how about
There,
that?
we
Is
lost
that
Rod
better?
for a
Did
minute.
we-
He's
did-
back.
Well, I was watching the Unicycle Cowboy.
He got excited. So we still have some superheroes in the parade this year. Last year they joined us in full force, and we're lucky enough to get them back in the 2018 Lone Ranger Parade.
Well, I tell you, before superheroes, the Lone Ranger and Red Rider
That's
and
right.
those guys were their superheroes of that era. Our Lone Rangers of our time are the superheroes.
That's right.
And so that's the difference.
And they still act upon that same creed of the Lone Ranger, which is so nice that it
Except
goes
for
from
Batman.
generation to generation. Well, yeah. Well, it's changing a little bit. Look at
and that
this
other one, I
parade.
can't even pronounce the title.
So
But
in
yes.
our parade this year, we have Supergirl, we have Captain America, and we have Superman. So keep an eye out and try to find all of them. It's kind of like trying to find Waldo in this crowd today. And this is, I believe, the Davisons.
Yes, you're right. Randy and Mary.
Mary Ellen Davison. They've been around the community for years and they're excited. It must be their anniversary. 62 years married.
And here's that Dixieland Jazz Band we're talking about.
The North Oakland Dixieland Band. They do jazz and swing. They travel throughout the state with this wonderful sound. Michigan New Orleans Band. A lot of them are from Lake Orion. Aren't they wonderful?
I don't think there's anything more American, is there?
And right on their tail is Orba, which is the local baseball league.
We just got done with our season. We covered about 2 to 3 games a week down at the Seymour Lake Park.
Yeah, we're going to be at the park. Let's talk about that a little bit. So Oxford Community Television will be changing our address, and we will be at Seymour Lake Park. We're going to
open this winter.
build a building onto the other end of the Parks and Recs building. We're really excited about that. We managed to save a few dollars, and we will actually have a studio that we didn't have to retrofit. And right now we're right in the middle of the community, downtown Oxford. Now we represent Addison Township, Leonard, and Oxford Township, and the village of Oxford is the hub, I think, for all of those places. So we're really proud to represent all those communities at an event like this today in our downtown area. There's Mike McCready, Republican for Senate.
Oh, Mike's back here.
Coming up on Mike McCready.
Oh, there's the Hulk on the other side, and Thor, and Superman.
There you go.
While you were talking, Spider-Man walked by, as well as Captain America.
Just like finding Waldo.
Oh, the kids all found him.
One of my favorite groups coming up. Citizens of Harmony.
Guardians.
Sorry,
Guardians of Harmony.
I messed that up
Yes.
3 times before the parade.
We were
Beautiful men's chorus. We'll listen to them.
Come, Guardians of Harmony Chorus. They are a premier men's a cappella chorus. We really enjoy them
woman, very popular after the movie a couple years ago.
And then we have some security here. It's the Shriners Security Unit. We can always use more security.
I'll tell you, the Shriners got so many chapters in them. It's crazy.
Okay, and sponsored by Merge Studios and Evergreen Cafe is one of many big heads that we're having in the parade this year. We are blessed with a cooperation from the Detroit Parade Company, which is the suppliers of the big heads that we get in the parade, and area businesses sponsor those, so there's a small charge for them to be in the parade, and thank you to the businesses that sponsor these big heads. So thank you to Merge Studios and Evergreen Coffee. And this is a Merge Studio float
And Lone Ranger and Tonto.
in the theme with Lone Ranger.
Now these heads are popular all through the country because the Thanksgiving Day Parade is televised nationally. So people all over the country have seen these on television.
Well, we sure appreciate the local businesses that sponsor these. It's there, and there's a Linda Sherman. So I imagine Jim Sherman is underneath one of those big heads. The Shermans, the Oxford Leader, or the Shermans also sponsor a big head or two.
And we got the Incredibles here today.
All right. We feel safe. All that popping going on. We also have Troop 119, Trail Life. They're Boy Scouts from the local area. I think they're called Life Scouts now.
Were you a? Yes.
I was not.
Yeah. I was a Boy Scout. Fun times.
Oxford, Closets by Design. They've created 50 new jobs for our great city.
Free in-home design consultation. I sure could use that.
I like that Chevy Nomad too.
They do custom closets, garage, cabinets, home offices, and pantries. I sure could use them. And you know who this is, Rod. Besides Batman coming up here.
Hey, Batman.
Oh, the Detroit Shriners. Have you ever seen a parade where these gentlemen haven't blessed the parade?
And they came in costume. They are wearing the Cowboys and I like it.
And they're
Is that
every
the
year
Shriners
it's
with
the
the
stagecoach.
too?
Yep, they're going to
Wow.
reenact a stagecoach robbery. That's always a fun show.
Okay, there's the bad guys. He's got the money.
My goodness. Oh, down they go.
The Shriners, what a very old.
They all volunteer. They're so dedicated to the communities.
They do a lot of things for the Burn Hospital, Hospital Cincinnati,
And Chicago.
and
Right.
yes, in Chicago.
Right. And sticking with the Lone Ranger theme, this looks to be the Lapeer Country Sportsman Club Wrangell,
Oh, boy.
which is a growing group, I'm telling you.
Well, the Sportsman Club on Oakwood, just east of 24, Attica, Michigan.
They're from Attica. Travel down here every year to help us out with this parade. What a lovely display, right?
And those are authentic cowboy gear right
Sure
there.
are.
See, the blue jeans didn't come around till much later. The blue jeans were farmers, I think, but those guys are wearing traditional cowboy wear.
Here's one of my favorite restaurants in town. All of them are my favorite. This is from Concho Pearl. Sort of new to the community. They've been here a couple years now. Brought their recipes from Texas, so they know what we're talking about when it comes to the
Good
Texas Lone Ranger.
Old Texas barbecue.
They've received our community with open arms and vice versa. Concho Pearl. And right behind them is the Bagpipe Music Unlimited. They're from Livonia, I imagine, as well. They do limited functions per year, so we are really lucky to have them here in this parade.
And some young Native Americans throwing it out.
Aren't those little kids cute? Oh my goodness, they're adorable. And right behind them is Robert Thomas Landscaping. They're the ones handing out the goodies. Entered by Pam Reed.
Look at that. He just decorated up that flat.
Boy, that's beautiful. I wish they could come to my house. They're from Oxford, Michigan. Yay. Another local business. So if you need new sod, catch them at the end of the parade.
Preschool Roundup. Lake Point Preschool now enrolling.
It's time to start thinking about it. We're beginning of August.
That little corral right there.
There you go. They're fine for the rest of the day. Aren't they cute? Lake Point Community Church. They've just changed the name, not the location. And so that preschool is Lake Point Preschool. It used to be Christ the King. It's the same.
That's right. They changed names.
Yep.
Yes.
And Northeast Oakland Historical Society. Yay, they can call Oxford home right there at the corner of Burdick and 24. That's a 1927 Ford driven by Bob Schnevel. Oh, another Oxford group. You know something about Team Torque?
Oh, I sure do. Boy, we've covered a few of their events. I only did one, but Rod Charles did, not Rod Charles, but
John Ochins covered them extensively. They did so well this past season. I just see bigger and better things out of this group of kids. It really turns out a lot of engineers. Having watched the robotics groups for about 20 years now, there's engineers all over the country that started out in robotics. So I'm so glad we've got such a strong program.
In the middle school too.
Sure do.
And by the time
here
they
they
get
are.
to high school, and here's a demonstration. Now, hopefully, we can get this on camera. And it's a competition. It's actually very exciting, Terry.
You get to watch it on. You can watch it on the computer when they're having their competitions, and I can hardly breathe. I'm so excited. It's really a fun thing to watch. They're challenged with a series of activities and competing with another team at the same time. Bravo, Team Torque. And so these kids put these robots together. They get a kit in January, and they start putting it together.
Hey,
it's gotta be hot.
Still collecting them buttons, huh?
I bet that's heavy.
Great kids.
Here comes another group very involved in the community, Ackett's. They've been here for quite a while. Used to be downtown. They have the best pies around.
They sure do.
They used to be downtown. Now they're at the corner of North Oxford Road and M24.
By Myers.
All homemade pies, local, and they're just so willing to cater to this community.
Well, you know, that's the thing that this
Ackett's.
community really has is that since we're on the outskirts, we have a lot of mom and pops, and that's one of our strong suits here in Oxford.
Such a good way to just get to know everybody in the community. We still are a community that we know everybody. It's so nice.
Do.
And I want to say,
we have to keep trying to do that as well.
And OCTV helps play that role. You know, way back in the 20s, the front porch, when they didn't have air conditioning, was the news media. Everybody would sit on the front porch and communicate with each other, and they knew what was going on locally. We are the front porch now for OCTV. We are your information channel. That's Charter Spectrum Channel 191 and AT&T Channel 99. While I'm doing plugs, I'd love to plug Buckhorn Towing.
Oh, boy.
Every year they allow us to set up on one of their trucks, and it's the perfect stage for us.
It is.
And they help this community out every time we have a parade.
They also help me out when my car breaks down. I've used them.
They're all, who are you going to call?
I've used them too much.
Right.
But they're fantastic. So.
PKSA Karate, located in the Legacy 925 Center. And with PKSA Karate today is Cheyenne Frank. She's a black belt, and it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Cheyenne, and thank you for spending it with us.
Now we've worked with this. We've had a few of these guys
with
on
Rod.
OCTV quite
Right.
a bit.
Yep.
Look at these guys.
And the thing about Rod Price owns PKSA, and he's in the back there. The thing about him is teaching the kids about life and about respect and about community, discipline, self-discipline.
It's a good group of kids.
There's Miss Senior Michigan. That's Kim Whitney, Miss Senior Michigan in the car. Congratulations. You know, that's really a neat thing to have Miss Senior Michigan. It just gives them a purpose to get out and talk to people and be with people and network.
Motor City Irish Dancers. They're out of Rochester. Let's see what they got for us.
They're the oldest Irish dancing teaching facility in Rochester. They're non-competitive. Look at her.
Oh my. Thank you, girls. I'm so glad they did that. They stopped right in front of the camera.
Oh, that was so nice. Now we all get to see it,
too,
right? That was awesome.
Thank you very much. Oh boy.
You know these kids, don't ya?
I do. Football and cheer. This is our very own Oxford Junior Wildcats.
There is between 80 and 100 Oxford Wildcats marching in this parade today. Bravo.
And that's our feeder program for our high school team
Sure
right there.
is.
We love our Wildcats.
And then there's our high school cheerleaders, junior and varsity.
They're doing pretty good.
They sure are. They had a wonderful season this year with their competitions.
Yes, they have. They've been doing really well.
We're losing a couple seniors are leaving.
And how about this? They are spraying kids with water.
I love it. Excel cleaning.
What a great idea.
They're the heroes today.
Oh, we got not here. We got.
Oh, not the cameras.
As much as I would like it.
Oh, it would feel good. They do power washing of windows, gutters, anything outside. They're from Ortonville, so they're close by. So all the surrounding communities, I just love it. They're so willing to help us celebrate.
Oh, here we go.
And there is the Oakland County Scholarship Queen Larissa Hollingsworth, driven by the Palace, Malasha's Palace.
Yeah, the dealership.
Yep. And here's another group that keeps coming back for more. Redford Township Unicycle Club. Golly, it looks bigger this year than it was last. Bless them.
Well, we had the unicycle cowboy earlier.
Oh.
Now we got a whole club of them.
Beautiful.
You know, my son can do that. I tried.
That is not an easy thing to do, nor is it easy to get up in Redford and be up here by 10 or 10:30, whatever time they had to line up for our parade. So I want to thank the Redford Township Unicycle Club for doing that, and they've done it before for us.
Oh, look.
She's jumping rope. Oh my goodness.
Like that. Regularly.
Beautiful. Redford Township Unicycle Club. I can't say enough about them. Thank you for coming up to Oxford.
Flip Tails. Look at the mermaid here. And who's this sponsored by?
Exquisite
Haley
Hardscapes.
Stone.
Ah,
What a good idea.
beautiful.
Got the
And there's
Little
Jack
Mermaid.
Sparrow right behind her. Jack Sparrow with the floating mermaid. Mike Van Dahl is escorting Jack Sparrow and the
That's a new
floating
entry that
mermaid.
we didn't get on our list.
Ah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Well,
Yes.
and representatives for Mike Bishop for Congress, and that is Mike Bishop. So I went all the way to Washington, D.C. to meet up with him. He wasn't there. I should just catch him in the middle of the street, right?
Yes.
Every year, they do a fabulous job with their float. This is Valor Salon.
Man, they do a great job.
Again,
don't they?
they've done a fabulous. They're having a dance party.
You don't have to necessarily get that hairdo there either. They will do something.
However, I really like it. Oh my goodness.
I know, they do such a great job every year.
And then we
Great
have
as well.
Detroit Shriners Girl Scout Troop 76451. Thank you, Missy Zellen, for bringing your girls.
We have Shriners
And
that
the
are
Shriner
intermittently all throughout the parade. So if you see somebody in a clown outfit with a little scooter, it's a Shriner.
Thank them for everything they do for the burn centers and everything else that they do. And I've been a patron here a few times. Right in our own community, we have a Jimmy John's.
But what I like
Anyhow.
about this Jimmy John's, Terry, is that so many kids from the high school work here.
Yep.
And the kids are having fun too. There's always
Yeah,
music playing.
they're never
Yeah.
like ho hum when you go in there.
Nope, they're very clean cut and having fun. And here's the Aqua.
Another Oxford club that's just wonderful. There, you gotta know there's an aqua club in Oxford with all the lakes we have around here. That's at the, I believe, the high school pool. We also have a pool at the Legacy Center. We have a lot of swimming available to us here.
You know, there was a time they used to give swim lessons at Stony Lake.
It was always so cold.
Yeah, but the kids had to do it.
Yep, they did.
Now we have pools. Oh, and here's who's this Calvary guy from?
This might be Ace and Walker, Maurice. Yep, that's Maurice. Maurice Freed as a Union soldier. Thank you, Maurice. We need more
pretty
horses in this
authentic looking
parade.
costume, too.
Sure is. Pretty impressive. Ace T and Walker. And then this is the Oxford Charity Car Show by Mike Gula, who when he was a senior in high school created this car show for charity for his grandmother.
Oh, I'm so happy that we're starting to get more and more Western themed
Yes.
floats now. This is so great. Seeming Bryce Bremer was the voice of the Lone Ranger. I don't think we've mentioned much about him, and we will towards the end of the parade, a little more about Bryce.
These are from coming up
Eastern
from
Michigan State Fair.
That's right. This is Mr. F. Old Future. And then we also have John Wayne. Same float.
You know, my son did a rodeo when he was a little guy, and they start him out on sheep. Mutton busting, they call it.
That's really,
Michigan State Fair.
yeah, really nice that they participate with us in this parade. That's not an easy task for Rod Charles to get them down here. So I'm really happy that they do it every year. And when you know who this is, we'll sit and listen to them for a minute.
all these kids are just getting back from band camp. They got back yesterday. This year's theme is West Side Story. There's Mr. Gibbons right there. He is the guy that puts this all together. These kids have not had much sleep this week. They've been learning their steps. And behind them is the alumni. This is how great this program is. Those are kids that have already graduated right here in the middle.
Supported by the Oxford Wildcat Boosters. The ski team is behind them, following them up. So they go through a lot during that band camp. Is that a week-long thing?
It's like 5 days.
That's a lot.
They spend the night up there. They start out, they don't know any of the steps or much the music, and by the end of the 5 days, these kids are ready to
Have
go.
it down pat. And right behind them is the Oakland County Sheriff Mounted Division, some of them. It's nice to know that when we have events like this, they're around and they can get through the crowds easier than the cars. And great for them to take the time to do that with us. I'm just so grateful for everybody that gets themselves involved in this monumental event in Oxford.
It goes with the theme too so much.
They bring their whole team up here from Oakland County. They bring the Marine unit, a Humvee, they bring Frisbees, and that is it. Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
Getting good. He's throwing 3, 4, 5 at a time.
That's pretty impressive. Let's hear it for the Pooper Scoopers. That would be courtesy of Robert Thomas Landscape. And so if anybody's interested in the cemetery tour, Jim Latola puts together a history of people that we feature within the cemetery and how they played a part in our community.
Oh, okay.
And it was a great success last year. Tickets are available at the museum.
Oh.
Yep, they're still
Out of
full
the
of
Legacy
energy.
Center?
Yep. And they have gone down this entire parade route and they're still flipping and turning. So they've been a stronghold at the Legacy Center building since before the Legacy Center.
On Point School of Dance. I believe they are
They're also at
the Legacy Center.
925 Legacy. They also have a facility in Lapeer, I believe, and they branched out to the Legacy Center a couple years ago, and it looks like they're growing down here.
You would not believe what the Legacy Center looks like. If you
my
were there a year or
goodness.
two ago, you need to go
Different
back
place.
because so many changes. There are a ton of businesses in there. It's almost a little city in itself.
Boy, these kids, good for them. It's a warm day out here. They've already been about a mile and a half, and they're still dancing.
Now, how do I say their name, the taxi company? You had it earlier.
Near Shears Taxi.
Nearshire's Taxi.
Yep.
Designed to save lives. So give these
I
guys a
love
call.
that.
So if you come down here to the 24th or something and
Yeah.
had maybe one too many, give the taxi a call. Is this our Shriner group as well?
Yes.
Yes.
The Elf Carafa Shrine Motorcycle Drill Team, of course. They're
And this is another
fabulous.
chapter, Terry. They have so many chapters in these Shriners. They have clowns. They have this motorcycle brigade. They have so much going on.
all benefiting
The children's
children's.
Yep. Yep, the Shriners have been.
They have hearts of gold. They come from a long ways too. They're not from just Lake Orion and Oxford. I think they've come as far away as these gentlemen, even in Flint. They come from Flint
They're gonna
area.
set up for us. And they are playing the William Tell Overture, which is the theme song to the Lone Ranger.
So the entire OCTV crew is here. Thank you, Russell, for doing the shooting here up on the deck. We've got Elgin on the bridge with the drone. We've got Dan in the crowd. This is the Clarkston Medical Group. So we have entrants from all of our neighboring communities. Thank you for your participation.
CMG.
This is the Clarkston Medical Group for Oxford, but it's certainly getting support from Clarkston. We've got support from Metamora, Lake Orion, all the way down to Redford. From what I understand, from what Rod Charles says, people come from out of state to see this parade.
That is so neat.
Jim Tedder is making his first run for Senate. I haven't spoken with him yet, but I have talked to people that have and say he's a nice guy, good guy, really believes in the people in the community and wants to represent them. So seek him out and talk to him if you have issues.
Well, what's neat is he's got a float. He just didn't get a convertible. He actually built a float for this parade. How about that?
He's a busy guy. The GOP seems to have a smaller float this year than they had last year.
They still have the famous elephant.
They do. Oxford Swim and Dive. Another team that did fabulous this
Yes,
year.
they
The
did.
Swim and Dive really worked hard.
They have been good for quite a while now. They're starting to do really, really well as of
It's
late.
a great program, actually. Little unicorn.
And the guys behind them.
I think they're also supplied by courtesy of Robert Thomas Landscape. Thank you, gentlemen. Tough job, I know.
Oxford Lakes Dental Care.
We have Splash Swim School coming down, another Legacy Center facility.
Yes, you believe it or not, at the old Sea Ray plant, they put in a swimming pool.
And this is the Oxford Community Theater Group. They are characters from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
So I'm imagining that's a group that's growing in this community.
I hope so. 'cause
It's
that
so
would be
lovely,
great.
yeah.
I know the high school does great productions, but we have room for more.
Yes.
Absolutely. We have to find out more about them.
Find out more about this lovely group that's passing us by.
The best place to find out is our community access.
John Riley is our state representative. It looks like he's running again. He's been in for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yesteryear Farm Tractor Club. They are from Springfield, Lapeer, and Clarkston counties, Clarkston, Michigan. This club dates back to before 1973. And it's a big club and it's growing by the day. And they have not missed a parade, I don't think, in the state of Michigan. That's quite a club to belong to. They all as well help out people in their community, but
You know, they could probably put more tractors in. I seen them one time. They had so many. It was
oh my goodness.
crazy.
Well, I ran across a parade in Port Huron one time, and it was just strictly the farm club. That was really neat. These old giant tractors just keep on going. puppies. This is our homecoming queen, Hope Watson.
There's Hope. Now, Hope,
In
what
that-
a nice gal. This gal plays lacrosse. Mike Watson, he was the athletic director. Yes. And she
She's-
just graduated this year.
Riding in a Mercedes with Gene Probe, or is it Proby? And Brennan Burrows, the scholarship, Lone Ranger scholarship winner. Bravo, good for you.
Brain Balance. Now, you say they're right downtown here.
Yep, they're local. They're right at the corner of Mechanic and Washington, or M24. They've been here for several years now. I'd say about 4 at the very least.
They're by the 5 and 1 diner, aren't they?
Yep, just
Okay.
they're one more street
One
over.
more street over.
Right.
Okay.
And helping kids overcome academic behavioral challenges. They are an incredible group of people. They find the key to what might be the assistance to help your child learning experience easier. It's just an amazing group. Just go in and talk to them. And we certainly know who's coming up the road here, don't we? Oxford Community Television. Our banner is being held by Rachel Baker. She's one of our interns turned employee. She's on the camera a lot. With Lori Raz, one of our camera people / editor. Everybody there wears many hats. Driving the van is our leader, Bill Service.
I know that guy.
And right behind him, driving the Corvair owned by Kurt Graham, who is a former employee and volunteer at OCTV, is Dave Kenny, our office manager. Driving Connie Miller, another one that wears many hats. And right behind is Kurt Graham and his award-winning Corvair 63, and driving is Don Stiles, volunteer at OCTV, whether he likes it or not.
Know that guy, don't you?
I do know that guy. I rope him into everything. And then right behind them, always in our parade, is the Lake Orion Knights of Columbus on the Santa Maria. Another group that helps out not only their own community, but the surrounding communities. Thank you for being here.
I love their float every year. That's so iconic in the area.
That's wonderful. They come up here even in the wintertime and join us, supporting our parade. That's the Extreme, Ray C's Extreme Store in Harley, in
yes.
Davison.
No, Ray C's is just south of 69 on 24.
And Dan Christ for Circuit Judge campaigning. I bet they're hitting a lot of parades. Thank you for joining us. And you know, Rod, I don't know if many people know that Oxford High School has a bowling team.
Oh,
but
yes.
I'm telling you, they cleaned up this year, didn't they?
Well, they are the state
champs.
Yep, girls
Bravo.
varsity bowling.
And their coach is R.J. Laffner, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Who's also,
JR.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, JR.
I am dyslexic. J.R. Laffner.
Yep.
JR also announces for us at OCTV, so he's another volunteer. And we'll take more volunteers, anybody who wants to join us. Congratulations, Oxford bowling team.
There's JR right there. He does
There he
the football
is.
announcing for OCTV.
He sure
He's
does.
very good. He knows the football program,
Inside
the bowling
and out.
program. You know, this is really something Brace Bremer, of course, lived on.
Drainer Road,
Drainer
right,
Road.
right from
It's
Oxford.
right here. It was a 300-acre ranch.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and then his horse,
Silver,
is
right.
buried there.
Yeah,
Another
we
face
won't
in the
tell
crowd.
where. We don't
No,
want people
no,
out there
we don't
digging
want-
digging up bones.
Well, he was born in 1901.
Unbelievable.
And then he left us in 1965. But he was on the air from 1941 to 1953. He was the third announcer
Wow.
at WXYZ here in Detroit. the Lone Ranger was born. It syndicated and went all around the country and went what they call today viral.
So there's the van of the Michigan State Alumni and Friends Band. There's some proud players on that truck, I'll tell ya.
To play for a college, you have to be pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Once a Sparty, always a Sparty.
And the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. What would they have done without the Oxford Chamber of Commerce? There's President of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce, Deb Uren. And they staged in the staging area. They lined up all the entrants for the parade and the parade company. Who has been involved with this parade since its inception.
Rod Charles had something to do with it.
They've also, yes, absolutely. He got them involved. Now the chamber also sponsored the rabbit and the horse in the parade this year. And here's the road crew for the Lone Ranger. So here he is. This is it, Rod. The star of the show.
That's right. Like I said before, the William Tell Overture by Rossini.
By Rossini. Correct. I am. Yeah.
I used to play violin. I could never play that one though. And here's the man of the hour himself, the Lone Ranger, and his faithful companion Tonto.
On his horse Silver. Oh. And all the superheroes supporting him.
And that's appropriate because the
Very.
Lone Ranger was
The first superhero, right. Free organic golf balls, probably supplied by the
okay, I'm not going to go.
landscaping
And this
company.
is Oxford's Community Schools Transportation.
You know a little bit about them, don't you, Rod?
I sure do.
Rod also drives for Oxford.
Out of that, I'll tell you what a wonderful place to work and a great bunch of people.
And so right behind Oxford Community Schools bus is NOTA, the North Oakland Transportation Authority. Can't say enough about NOTA. They provide transportation to anyone who cannot drive a car for whatever reason. And 5-1 Diner sponsoring entrance in the parade this year.
I ate there a week ago. Great food. It's going to get real loud here, Terry.
Yeah, so let's not miss Saradan Construction, Addison Fire Department, and Metamora Fire Department. Now let's enjoy the music. It's a bar.
Well, that's the fire department. That usually marks the closing of parades, and I'll tell you, what a parade this year.
I cannot believe it. Once again, it's just a fantastic experience. I want to thank so many people. Rod Charles and your posse, well done again this year. The Chamber for helping out. This list was fantastic. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Thanks to the OCTV crew for covering this entire event. Thanks to the Village of Oxford. I shouldn't have started the thank yous.
Yes.
Thanks for everyone who has joined this parade and making it what it is. Again, if you missed it, it'll be on OCTV. We will put it together and you can see it anytime on OCTV, any avenue that we produce media on. Thank you for joining us in the 2018 Downtown Oxford Lone Ranger Parade and Festival. There's stuff going on in the park afterwards.
Right afterwards, there's vendors all over the place. Great fun things to do.
Thank you for hosting this with
Thanks
me.
for inviting me.
I'm
Thank you very
Terry
much.
Stiles.
And I'm Rod Wright.
We'll see you next year.